Hey boys. So, crab fly, VGDC, named after the one and only Voltzys V1, V2, whatever you want to call him, developed by him and Bill Mitchell over in for fishing locally here actually. Just doing tan, probably this lighter colour first up, with some yellow legs. Yeah, only going to tie it on a 1/0 because that's what I got, and really you don't need much bigger than that. Hey Neil. Yeah, it's a simple-ish tie. There's just lots of steps. It can take some time. I mean, I'm not beachy. Hey Evan, yeah, I'm not beachy. I can't like tie half a dozen of these in 15 minutes. But then he's a machine and been doing it forever. So generally I don't tie them as neat and as tidy as what he does either. I've seen a few of his in the flesh, and his versions of this pattern are just immaculate. I mean, I'll always, just about always for a crustacean anyway, start with a hot spot of some sort, usually orange. Like I said, it's going to be tan. Don't really need a lot of marabou for this, but you know, you start with the mouth parts. It's going to blow around a little bit because of the fan, but we'll see. It shouldn't be too bad. So I'll build this fly from where it is, I guess backwards for the most part. And so really, I mean, depending on how you tie these, they can be crabby, they can be shrimpy, shrabby. I think a few people call it. It's more about an illusion of something that might be prey. So you can fish these static little bumps, or you can strip them like a prawn to trigger a bite, depending on what you're after at a particular time. Goldies, a lot of goldies like them stripped hard, but then when they're tailing, a couple of bumps could be all that it takes. There we go. Supposed to be doing something similar, I think, next week for the club, but I sort of messed up with the club because I forgot what day it was. I think a lot of people are in that boat at the moment. Forgot what day, week, month, all that sort of stuff. And look, I've only been working at home for two weeks. Hey Dave, how you doing, man? But I'm not really enjoying the working at home thing. It's still a struggle, but you know, I'm just one of a lot of people at the moment that are struggling and shit, man. Why am I complaining when I've still got a job, you know? There's a lot of people out there at the moment that don't. So I've just actually got two pairs of feathers, or a pair of feathers, 2 feathers to tie in here. So the worst part about this right now is that I can hear fucking Family Guy in the background. No doubt something inappropriate is going to be said in the moment. It's the beauty of having a vice. You can sort of just switch around as you need it. When I grow up, I want to be just like Beachy. So that'll do. Hey, Matt. You can probably, maybe, already see it sort of looks like a pattern. I'm not sure how to get rid of all of these messages and things out of the road. I do apologise for that. I'll figure it out one day. So we're at this point now. It's time to tie in the weight. Just give yourself a nice base. So I'm just using some large, not super large, where is it? There it is. Not super large dumbbells, but large, a little bit of weight. So a couple of diagonal wraps, and then a couple of X wraps. There's a wrap underneath it. Just sort of helps to tighten it up a little bit. That's not too bad. A little bit of extra weight. Hey Richard. Rev. So always just a little bit of added weight in this stuff. I'm just, I guess, paranoid that I want to get it down, or really conscious of the fact that I want to get it down. These like goldens and that sort of stuff, they'll maybe chase something that's coming up off the bottom because they're thinking, oh shit, I've snuck up on that, I've scared it, it's trying to get away, I'm going to eat that. So I mean, you can sort of see there what she's looking like at the moment. It's not too bad. You can see the profile, the crabs, the claws coming out, the eyes, the mouth parts blowing around in the breeze. It's alright. So I will do the lighter one. I was going to use copper tan instead of a slightly darker one, but I'll use this tan instead. It's nice, it's light. So, and you don't want it too bulky, because ultimately you don't want it too buoyant. So I've got you can sort of see what I'm doing there. It's about and then so I'm a bit of a messy tire. So that's in. So it took me a while to figure this one out, but these V-wraps are pretty cool. And I like it. I mean, so you've just wrapped it in. You can see that it started there. Amen. So I've also got, you'll see here, I have 3 of the round silly legs. I think these ones I got from Squish. Pretty sure I got them from Squish. Locally anyway. He's probably more reliable of the guys I talk to for these sorts of legs, and that's also where I got the hackle from, which isn't bad. I do use Congo hair quite a bit from Fly Ties Dungeon. It's good. Like, certainly a cheaper alternative than EP. Whether or not it's better or not is another question, I guess. I mean, you just keep building it back. So I'll put one up the front, because the trick really is that you want to build it back, and you want it to look like something without there being an exceptional amount of bulk. So we're already sort of nearly halfway down the hook. And you can see it starting. So, and right or wrong, I mean, what's been working for me with getting these legs in. So I tie one in, bring it across, down. Always make sure you're happy with it. Sort of trim it as I go. I haven't tied one of these for a long time. I was just going through my box, and I don't really have a lot. Well, don't have a lot. Fuck, I'm an idiot. I don't really need any more flies for the flats, to be honest. But you can never have too many. And at the moment I've got 3 boxes just sitting to my left here. One's full of shrimpy sort of stuff, smaller patterns, maybe for bastards, shallower water, maybe a little bit lighter. Another one, it's got a lot of larger patterns in it. So I mean, that's one half of my bastard box. I don't really have a lot of crabs. I've even got room down here. And then this one, the shrimpy box, certainly needs a little bit of gap filling. But we'll get there one day. In the next little while we'll probably have a lot of time to do that. Forever. It took me a long time to figure out how some people did this, and I just could never get it right. And I know that it's not. No, I'm not the best tyer in the world, but it is really nice that when you get to a point and you can see, you know, that makes a big difference. So that sucks. Haven't really done a good job on this one. Just misjudged the amount of material I needed. And that should do it. And you can use different coloured thread too. A lot of the time I'll end up using the shell pink, coral pink, whatever you want to call it. Fiona would call it orange. And just whip finish. And I see a lot of people do more than one. I'm not sure that there's really a need to do more than one. A little bit of head cement. And the building of the fly is just about done. So that's it there. But obviously it's not finished just yet. So what I like to do, I don't know, is sort of grab the legs, try and keep them separate, because inevitably I will always cut one of these legs off. Sort of bring it up, so that it's sort of out from the hook point, or straight up perpendicular to the shank like that. And there's a few scragglers. I'm not overly concerned about them at the moment. And then so we get it, we cut a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. And then I don't like my legs to be too long either. Warren will always tell me to make them longer. So I just tease it out. Good. And we've got a little bit more trimming. And she's done. Just a little bit of extra strength. Some motorbikes really do sound like shit, don't they? Thanks, mate. And there you have it. So it's not the tidiest thing in the world at the moment, and I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. But that's that one. It's all done. You can always, something else that you could do, so this one here, Goldens, I mean, you've got the yellow claws, yellow legs. I guess you could throw them at Permit 2, although people are getting more and more into the the Velcro crabs, the moon crab sort of patterns, and the those Alflexo things that everyone look reasonable to tie. Yeah. So I mean, I can do another one. I don't even know what the time is, but it's all up to you guys. I mean, I might, well, actually, how about, well, you're here. So I did one of these the other night, or the other afternoon actually. So this one is, this is one that I sort of fell into because I wanted to actually learn how to tie the I think it's Dave's Pink Shrimp, or yeah, it's Dave's Pink Shrimp, so Dave Bradley's Pink Shrimp. So I think the really pretty versions we've all seen are tied by Beachy, and I was sort of looking at that and I could never find the right materials, so I kept playing and I kept playing, and eventually, so what did I do? The other day I did a tan one of these. So today I'll do the little pink shrimp. So this one's not so little, so it's also going to be tied on a 1/0. do like pink shrimps. Everything like tricks. It doesn't matter. You guys can talk, I can't hear you, so you're not really interrupting me. It's good. Look, I've got a lot of time for Rob anyway. Rob's helped me out a lot. Rob's helped me out a hell of a lot actually. So pink shrimp, pale pink, little section of this, sort of double it up, in half, put one aside, and Hank Dillon, he did saw an awesome version of this pattern a couple of weeks ago actually. Was it even last week? No, it was a couple of weeks ago. An awesome representation of this shrimp. I was really flattered. No worries, man. I do love those 5-hole hooks you sell. I just haven't had a really good chance to fish with them properly yet. Particularly those new larger streamer ones. But when all this settles down, I'm going to be itching to get out a fish. Oh, legs. There we go, some legs. So use some of these. I think these ones I got from Squish. I think these ones I got from Rob. Mix them up. Mix and match. And yeah. Nope. Nearly fucked that up, didn't I? Any crab making in the future? Well, you just missed it, Jake. When I save this, you'll be able to see it again. I might do one next week as well. For the NQ. These are silly legs. Do have some spinnerbait skirts, but I haven't used them for a while. They seem, I don't know, is it just me? They seem a bit weaker, maybe a bit brittle. But yeah, these silly legs. tell you what, I will never go into making brushes full time. So this is a brush, so I just make it up myself when I'm got a little bit of extra time. I can just wrap this on and around and around and around. So you don't need it to be too dense. Again, we're just trying to give it an illusion rather than being super ultra realistic. No, I haven't tried the new stream design crabs, mate. Just tease it out till you're happy with it. I mean, it doesn't look like much at the moment. Yeah, a few stragglers in this one, and she's nearly there. That's that. Just tease it out so that the ends aren't so even. And yeah, the first fly was a VGDC. Well, a poor representation of. But in saying that, I've had a few guys get some nice goldies on them last year. So I'm really happy about that. I just love it when I see people catching fish on the flies. So that's most of the tying done. Just a little bit of trimming. So now you can see the lighting's pretty shit. Sorry, I'll have to figure that out. What do I do here? No. But anyway, that's that. So I think, so I just a little bit of head cement. Down. And that's really it. And then just a bit of this. Still on the top. No worries, Bob. This needs to be put onto a line of someone that needs to fish. So, okay. This one, because this one's done now. My little pink shrimp. Done. So I've used silly legs. And I think these ones are called loco legs, the pink ones. So you can get them from anyone. This is Congo hair, EP fibre or anything similar is fine. Like, I'm not a purist by any stretch of the imagination. Arctic snow, hot orange. No worries, Ev. Marabou. Some mono eyes. And some 1mm solder. Hey, Jumby. And that's sort of, and that's it, man. Oh, and I can't think of the size, but the second largest size of the eyes that Squish sells. These brass. These brass eyes. And that's that. For the VGDC, the difference was I used rooster cape that I got from Squish at Untamed. Again, this time it was a tan Congo hair or EP fibre if you not medium round rubber legs, the same mono eyes, and that's it. And the 210 flat wax, and she's all good, man. But no, look, that's it for tonight. I won't take up any more of your time. Thanks for watching. I actually enjoyed tying. I do like Raid Zap, Richard. It is quite good and does dry quite well. It's expensive, but then all of this stuff is expensive, so really it's going to come down to personal preference. I don't find that it smells anywhere near as much as some of the other stuff like Solares. Solares can really stink the house out at times. I've never had like skin reactions like some people say they have, but the odour is something that I really notice a lack of. Thanks, Neil. That's awesome, man. Really appreciate it. But yeah, on that note, I reckon I'll leave you guys go and I'll watch the end of Family Guy with Fiona. No worries, Matt. I'll talk to you later.